In what came as a major embarrassment for Canada, G7 chair Japan recently refused to support its stance against India over the killing of a Sikh terrorist. As per a report published in India's Economic Times, Canada wanted Japan to raise the issue of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in the recent Quad meeting that took place in US. But Japan chose to back India in view of its strategic partnership with New Delhi, especially in the Indo Pacific area. A person aware of the development said, Quad's mandate is completely different, and the foreign ministers' meet would focus on making safe, secure, and inclusive Indo Pacific region. Well, that came as a big blow. Not just that, Canada is also believed to have approached France and upcoming G7 chair Italy to back its stance against India. They could not care less. France is again India's strategic partner and a major ally in the Indo-Pacific. Italy is also India's major security partner and a part of the IMAC project. It is to be noted that India has been reaching out to major global powers and explaining its point of view to them in the wake of Canada's allegations. Meanwhile, an interesting article appeared on Japan Times which suggested Canada to reset its foreign policy. You see, Canada over the recent years has locked horns with all major powers across the world, be it China, Russia, or Saudi Arabia. Japan Times said, look, Canada can learn from Japan and nations like Australia and Singapore how to navigate these ties with major powers. Now, the next part came as music to my ears. Japan Times said, it is time for Canada to shed off its middle power approach, its middle power mindset, and adopt a more pragmatic, realistic, interest-based policy. Middle powers are those powers which are not great powers but wield a greater influence on the world stage, owing to their partnership with great powers. On your screen is a map with great powers colored in purple and middle powers colored in green. You can see here, while India is a great power, Canada is a middle power. Now, in the next part of the video, we will discuss why exactly is G7 chair Japan not willing to back its G7 ally Canada against India. Number 1. Indo-Pacific is Japan's biggest priority. Only a kid can imagine Japan severing its ties with India because of its great role in the Indo-Pacific. India is a major ally against China. Both nations are working together to weed out Chinese influence from Southeast Asia. Also, India is a Quad member but not Canada. Canada is simply a non-entity in the Indo-Pacific region. Number 2, while Japan is backing India against Canada, India is also backing Japan against North Korea. India is now changing its North Korea policy. It recently joined US, Japan and South Korea to urge Russia against any defense deal with Pyongyang. Number 3, Japan is nowadays stressing more on its strategic autonomy and increasingly taking an independent stance and approach to its foreign policy. You may have noticed Japan has toned down its aggression against Russia over the last few months, unlike US, UK and Canada, because Tokyo cannot quit energy ties with Moscow. Now on India too, it is not listening to its G7 ally. Instead, it is treading on a path of its own. So the lesson from Japan is Canada should stop punching above its weight and realize where it stands on the global stage. Certainly, New Delhi has more cards up its sleeves than Ottawa. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe to Outright for more such insightful videos on world affairs. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Take care.